Hello everyone, Mauro here. In this lesson, we're going to look at everything you need to know to get started Windows Recall on your Copilot Plus PC. Okay, let's dive into steps to start using Recall on Windows 11. But before, please subscribe to the channel and click the like button to help YouTube show this video to more people. It doesn't cost anything and you will be helping the channel and supporting my work. Okay, first, let's start by defining the feature. On Windows 11, Recall is a feature that tracks everything you do on the computer by taking screenshots around every 5 seconds, and then the feature uses on-device AI models to help you find a specific activity. In other words, this feature works like a photographic memory or a time machine. The feature is exclusive to Copilot Plus PCs, so it is only available for computers with the latest Snapdragon processors from Qualcomm and the new AMD and Intel CPUs equipped with NPU for AI tasks. In addition, the device must include at least 16 GB of memory and 256 GB of storage using an SSD media type. So it is safe to say that you will only be able to use this feature if you have purchased a new computer in 2024 and it's actually labeled as a Copilot Plus PC. Also note that other requirements include to have enabled secure boot and BitLocker for drive encryption on the computer. Also, Windows Recall comes turned off by default, meaning that you must turn it on manually. And at any time, you can turn it off and you can uninstall it. However, if you enable the feature during the preview of the feature, you can turn it off and you can uninstall it, but Microsoft notes that the AI components will remain in the computer. Now, when the computer is available for everyone, Microsoft says that when you uninstall the feature, everything related to Windows Recall will be removed from the computer. Now, let's go through the steps to enable Recall on your computer. There are different ways to do this. One of them is through the out-of-box experience when you're setting up Windows 11 for the first time or on a clean installation. And you can also do it through the desktop using the Windows Recall app or going through the Settings app. First, you need to click on the Recall app, which appears on the taskbar. If it is not there, just open Start and look for Recall. When you see this screen, just click on Next, Next again, one more time. And in here to enable the feature, just click the Yes button. Now we need to authenticate with Windows Hello. And now Windows Recall has been enabled on the computer and it's going to appear empty because the feature hasn't recorded anything yet. Now, another way that we can enable Windows Recall on your computer is by going to the Settings app. Just open Start and look for Settings and then go to Privacy and Security and then on Recall and Snapshots, make sure to turn these on. Now, let me see if I can turn this off and delete the snapshots already available on the system, because there is another splash that I want to show you that is part of the experience, but I didn't see it when I enabled the feature. So I'm going to enable it again, and I'm going to close this, and I'm going to open Recall, and then I'm going to sign in. And here we have the splash for Recall, letting you know that it's now saving snapshots. If you have a Copilot Plus PC, the Recall app will be pinned to the taskbar, as you can see it right here. And you can also find it on the Start menu by just doing a quick search for Recall. Every time that you open the app, you will have to use the Windows Hello experience to authenticate and access your activities. If you have the Windows Hello Face option on your computer, I will recommend you to use it because otherwise the sign-in experience will get annoying really quickly. Inside of the app, you have the search box that you can use to search for anything you have done in the past. You can look for pictures, objects, text, documents, and virtually anything. You can use your query right here, and you can also use the microphone to use voice to do the search. It is important to note that because we're using AI, you don't have to be specific on what you're searching. So you can type a query as you will normally ask a person. Now, just to give you an example, I'm going to type Firefox. And here are the results. Now you have text matches and visual matches. You also have these options at the top, and this option will be different depending on the search that you're doing. And for example, and you can use them to filter the search result even further. Now let me clear the filters. And as you can see, each of the snapshots includes a button, and in this case, this one opens the settings app because that snapshot is related to the settings app. However, let me just do a different search. Let's look for settings. You can tell that we have a different page on the snapshot, but if we click the settings button, it will open straight into the main page of the settings app. It doesn't take us to the actual page of the snapshots. Now, if we are on the previous search, let's look for Firefox again. And in this case, we have the actual link to go to the specific app that was recorded on that snapshot, as you can see right here. Now, from the snapshot, you can also open this menu right here, and you can copy the snapshot to the clipboard, which is actually a screenshot, or you can delete the snapshot or related snapshots. Now, you can also turn this into a File Explorer search by clicking this option right here. Now, we can click the timeline button, and that will take us back to the main page of Windows Recall. And as you can see, we also have a timeline that you can use to go more quickly to a different point in time. And if you click the Now button, it would actually take a screenshot of whatever is on the screen, but it won't save that snapshot on your computer. We also have a menu right here at the top, and that simply gives us the option to pause the Windows Recall feature, and it also gives you a visual cue that the feature is currently turned on. From here, you can also access the settings for the feature. Now, you can always click the timeline button right here, and that will refresh the experience to the last saved snapshot. Now, let's do the Firefox search again. And then I'm going to open this snapshot. And as you can see, we also have navigations buttons on the right and left. And at the bottom of the page, you're also going to find some options that we can use. Now, similar to the button to open the app when we do a search, we're going to find that button right here. And because this was a snapshot of a website, we can copy the link. Or we can just click the button to open that page on the web browser. You can also use the copy button to copy the snapshot to the clipboard. And let's just copy this and let's open Paint. And then I'm just going to do a Ctrl-V to paste it. And as you can see, this is a snapshot, which is technically a screenshot. Now from here, you can also delete the snapshot, delete everything from Microsoft Edge in this case, or you can also delete all the pages related to Mozilla. And from this menu, we can also open the snapshot into the snipping tool. And this button right here, that's the one that allows you to enable and disable the Click to Do feature inside of the Recall experience. In short, Click to Do is a feature that allows you to interact with content on your screen using contextual actions. By simply clicking the text or images on the snapshot, you can perform different tasks. So right now, Click to Do is turned on. And as you can see, all the elements that I can interact with are already highlighted. And what we can do is just to select the text in this case, and from here we can copy that selection. We can open this in different applications, and in this case we can do a web search with that specific text. Now, if the feature recognizes objects inside of the image, we can right click on it, and then we're going to have different options. So we can do, in this case, a visual search using Bing, and we can also do things like blur the background or erase the object, but that's going to happen using the Photos app. We can also remove the background, but that will happen using the Paint app. And just to give you an example, I'm going to select this option. And as you can see, Microsoft calls this snapshots, but it is a screenshot and nothing more. And then when that part of the snapshot is open in Photos, we can select what we want to erase. And then we can save this as a copy. And as you can see, the feature doesn't actually erase the element from the actual snapshot. Click to Do also works outside of the Recall app, but I'm going to show you that in more detail later on in the video. Okay, if we look at the bottom right corner of the screen, we can also find the recall icon, which will be permanently available in this location to let you know that the feature is running in the background. When you click the icon, you will see the last snapshot as well as the options to open the recall feature, and you can also pause the feature. So if we pause the feature, you're going to see that the icon will reflect the state change, and you can always click the resume button to continue using the feature. But again, to get it running, you need to authenticate with Windows Hello. From here, you can click this option right here to open the settings page on the settings app. Of course, you can always open the settings app from the start menu or using the shortcut. And then from the home page, you will need to go to privacy and security. And in there, you're going to find the recall and snapshots page. On this page, that's where you can control everything. Using the save snapshots option allows you to turn on and turn off the feature. Now, if we open the storage settings, first at the top right, you can see how much storage Recall is currently using. And from here, you can set the maximum storage for snapshots. In my particular case, the default was 75, but that is only because of reflecting the default setting for the amount of storage on the computer. In this computer, I have 512, so the default is 75. But if you have a terabyte hard drive, the default is going to be 150 gigabytes. Also remember that the more storage you allowed, the more days of activities you will be able to save. However, if you want to conserve storage, make sure to set it to the lowest setting. And I guess to make that change, I also have to authenticate. Now, if we click this option, that only takes us to the storage settings page, which now also shows how much the recall feature is taking on the hard drive. Another option that you can configure is the maximum storage duration for snapshots. By default, is set to unlimited, but you can set it to keep the snapshots on your computer for up to 180 days. But if you want to make that less, you can set it to 30 days, 60 days, or 90 days. Now, from this page, you can also delete the snapshots. You can select the time frame you want to delete. By default, it's set to the past hour, but you can do the past 24 hours, 7 days, or 30 days. You will need to select the option and then just click the delete snapshots button to complete the process. Now, if you want to delete all the snapshots on your computer, just click the delete all button, or you can also turn off the feature if you don't plan to use it anymore. The Windows Recall feature also filters out sensitive information, and that's turned on by default. And basically, if the feature detects passwords, credit cards, and any other type of sensitive information, then those screenshots won't be saved on your computer. In addition, you can also filter out apps. So let's say you always use an application and you don't want Recall to record that application. You can always click the Add App button, and then you can select the application, for example, Word, but you can scroll down and select almost like any application installed on your computer. So I'm going to select Word, and then I'm just going to click the Add button. Now you need to authenticate again. And now the Recall feature is not going to save any screenshots when it detects that you're using Word. Now, if in the future you want to allow the application, you just simply come to the same setting and then just click the delete button to remove the application. In the same way, if you don't want Recall to record on a specific website, you can simply click the Add Website button right here, and then just type the website that you want to add. So you actually have to type the full domain and then click the Add button. Of course, this only works for supported web browsers, such as Microsoft Edge and Google Chrome. Now, Microsoft also included this option right here, and that's off by default. But if you want to help improve the filtering system for Recall, you can submit some of your data to help make that experience better. So I already showed you Click to Do inside of Recall, but you can also use the feature outside of the app. And to access Click to Do outside of Windows Recall, what you have to do is just to use the Windows key and then just do a normal click. and that will bring up the click to do interface. You saw that animation, and now we have a snapshot of everything on the screen, and you will see that we have an interface at the top where you can search for anything on the snapshot. Let's just look for security, and in the same way, we can right click a selection and copy that text and perform the different actions available with click to do. From here, we have some options that we can choose. And we also have the option to open Windows Recall. So basically, that button will bring the snapshot into the Recall application. Another way that you can access the Click to Do feature is by opening the Start menu and look for Click to Do. Now, here's a recommendation. If you're actually going to use Click to Do, make sure that you have content on the screen. So let me close this, and I'm going to open Microsoft Edge, and then I'm going to open the Click to Do feature. And now after that fancy animation, we can perform different actions on that snapshot. And there is a third option to open the Click to Do feature, and that is using the Windows key plus Q keyboard shortcut. Like I said at the beginning of the video, Windows Recall is turned off by default, but if you turn it on, if you want to disable it, this is what you do. Open Start and look for Settings, and then go to Privacy and Security, and then go to Recall and Snapshots. And from here, just turn off the Save Snapshots toggle switch. Now the feature has been disabled, and as you can see at the bottom, we no longer have the recall icon. That indicates that the feature is no longer operational on the computer. Now, one thing to point out that when you disable snapshots, the snapshots that were already saved on the computer will remain on the computer. If you want to delete everything, you'll need to click the Delete All button. Now, if you want to re-enable the feature, you just need to go to the Settings app again. And then we need to go to the Recall page one more time. And then you just turn it on and authenticate with the Windows Hello authentication method. Now, with these settings, you're going to enable and disable the feature, and you can also delete all the snapshots. Now, if you want to uninstall the feature from the computer, there are actually 3 ways to do this. And the easiest way is just to go to the Start menu and look for Turn Windows Features On and Off and open this application. And from here, we need to clear the recall option, and then you just need to click the OK button, and then all the components will be removed from the computer, and then you just need to restart, and then the feature will no longer be available on the computer. Now, if you have Windows 11 Pro, what you can also use is the Group Policy Editor. And to do that, look for the Group Policy Editor. And from here, we're going to go to Administrative Templates, Windows Components. Then we're going to go to Windows AI. And from here, we'll right-click this policy, click on Edit. And then if we disable the feature, and as you can see right here on the description, the recall component will be in a disabled state, and the bits for recall will be removed from the device. If snapshots were previously saved on the device, they will be deleted when the policy is disabled. Removing recall requires the device to restart. Then you will need to click Apply, OK, then you will need to restart the computer. Now, if you are on Windows 11 Home and you don't have access to the Group Policy Editor, what you can do is to use the registry. But remember that editing the registry is risky and it can cause issues on the computer, so make sure that you create a backup before proceeding. You have been warned. So from here, we're going to go to the registry. And then we're going to go to this path, HKey Local Machine, Software Policies, Microsoft Windows, Windows AI. If Windows AI is not available on the registry, we're just going to go to the Windows key. We're going to right click on it and we're going to create a key, and then we're going to name it Windows AI. Then we're going to right click on it, and then we're going to create a DWORD 32-bit value. And we're going to name this key Allow Recall Enablement. And then we just need to make sure that the option is set to 0. Then simply restart the computer, and then Windows Recall will be disabled on your computer. So the one option that I'm going to show you in this video is using the Turn Windows Features On and Off. So for now, I'm going to delete this, and I'm going to close this. And I cleared this option previously, so now just click OK. Now we just need to restart the computer. All right, so the computer just restarted. So now I'm going to look for Windows Recall on this computer. Let's see what we find. As you can see, Recall and Snapshots page is no longer available. And if we go to System and then on AI Components, and as expected, we will continue to see the AI components on the computer. And that's because during the preview release, Microsoft said that the binaries of Windows Recall will remain on the computer. After the feature becomes officially available for everyone, then all the components will be removed from the computer. In addition to the ability to enable and disable Windows Recall or completely remove it from your computer using the group policy editor, Registry, and the Turn Windows features on and off page, it is also possible to uninstall the Windows Recall feature through Command Prompt and PowerShell. And to do that, open the Windows Terminal as an administrator. And then if you want to use Command Prompt, you need to run this command. And if you're using PowerShell, you can run this command to uninstall it. And of course, after running either command, you will have to restart the computer. Now, just for reference, if you want to reinstall Windows Recall, you can use the same distant command, but you have to use the enable variant of the command. And on PowerShell, you have to use also the enable variant. And that's it. That's pretty much all you need to know about Windows Recall, how to enable it, how to use it, and we also seen how to use Click to Do inside and outside of Windows Recall. And we even looked at the steps to disable the feature, completely uninstall it, and even restore it again on the computer. Remember to like the video. Let me know in the comments what you think about this feature. I know it's controversial, but it can actually be useful if Microsoft pulls it off. Like the video, share it, and I just hope this video was informative for you, and I would like to thank you for viewing.